You guys have to be joking. There is actually no way, not possible. She's joking. She has to be.
You serious?
Man, this dev team surprises me more and more every day. What is up, everybody? Raging Monster here. And, yeah, so let's talk about this patch. Man, from the animations to the new UI, I am absolutely disgusted. I'm going to start off with the animations. They feel wonky. Survivor just looks silly. And I will not be playing Survivor until they either revert these changes or they at least improve them to where they're somewhat functional and they somewhat make sense. To the UI, and never in my history of gaming have I ever ran into a dev team that deletes assets before taking feedback from their own player base. This makes absolutely no sense. I cannot believe that Not Queen actually basically just said that. So basically, you're telling me these guys added this, right? And they designed a whole system to work with it. And then they took the old system and got completely rid of it. How does that happen? In what world and in what gaming company would you ever do this? Makes no sense. This is just sad behavior. This is very, very sad on your part. I am just astonished that this dev team actually did this. And it's disgusting. It's actually disgusting. So, I want to talk about feedback and how I will no longer be providing feedback to this dev team unless I'm being paid for it. So, unless I'm getting rewarded with blood points or Auric cells during these feedback surveys, I will no longer be doing them. You guys have shown time and time and time again, you do not value our feedback. You will do whatever you want. You will not listen to what we have to say because what we say does not matter because you guys have already made your minds up. You guys, I guess you decide for us on what happens. And I'm no longer going to support this. And I am no longer going to be providing my feedback because it's not taken into account. And I am very disappointed with how this dev team has handled this whole situation. And this is a really bad step coming off of the Twins chapter. Arguably the worst chapter this game has ever had. And coming off of that and just producing this shit is just... I cannot believe that a dev team would do this. I am in utter shock that it's so mind-blowing to me. So, let's slow down. Let's try to find some positives here. Wraith got a buff. I guess you could call it a buff. I'm not really sure if that's what you want to call it. It's okay. I still think Wraith needs more. I still think Wraith's biggest problem is his weak windstorm. I still think that's his biggest problem. Clown got a buff. I guess you could call it that as well. I will say it's okay. I've seen some people demonstrate some okay ways to play with it. Other than that, I really can't think of anything else. The devs accidentally leaked the new Rift video. How that happens, I don't understand. Behavior is probably the only company in history that continues to leak things. I just don't understand. So going back to the UI, it's actually come to my attention that this UI doesn't show you how long you're exhausted for. And that to me is just a perfect example of why this UI is trash. And I don't understand how people are defending this. It is awful. It's all over the place. It's not consistent. It does not make sense for the UI to be the way it is. And the fact that there are people that are defending this, and I mean no disrespect when I say this, but it comes off as a lot of people are being a yes man to behavior. And they're refusing to hold behavior accountable when they do wrong. And in this case, behavior did wrong. The animations are horrible. Just like I said, it feels jank. It feels a little bit better than the PTB I've heard, but it still looks awful. And it does not look like it's good. There's a issue with hitboxes right now for killers. Do I even want to go into this? It's just bad. Let's just say that hitboxes are messed up for killers right now. No surprise behavior, by the way. going back into the UI, I don't like how it's scattered all over the place. I think it's very silly. I'm not a big fan of the just the placement of it. I think it's bad. The only good thing that is coming out of this new UI, and they have actually fixed it now, is you can actually see who's injured now. They have like a slash on their icon. I mean, finally, you know, at least we can tell somebody's injured. Meanwhile, you can't even tell how long your exhaustion's lasting for because there's no way to tell. And I just want to go a little bit back into what I was saying earlier about how I will no longer be providing feedback. I encourage others to do the same thing. Don't provide them feedback anymore. If Behavior wants to sync this game and they don't want to take feedback seriously, the best thing we can do is no longer provide them with feedback. Let them be a sinking ship and let them run this game into the dirt and, you know, show them that without our feedback, this game will be nothing. And that's the best thing we can do at this point. They're not going to take our feedback seriously. I know what's going to happen. They're going to realize after this dumpster fire that they fucked up, and they're going to do like a whole like cool little stream around the campfire or some shit, and they're going to talk about, oh, we do value feedback. We promise. We love your feedback. Please give us feedback. Please. We need feedback. And they're not actually going to do anything with it. They're not. Do not be fooled by their deception. They don't really want our feedback. They don't care. It's becoming more and more obvious every day, and every patch is just proving the point more and more. The fact that they don't have people playtesting this, and they don't have people outside of their company that are looking in and being paid to, you know, give their feedback on this game and say, hey, this change sucks. Do not put this live. You'll be making a mistake. Is mind-blowing to me. Every other company I know of, especially Riot Games, perfect example. Riot Games has people outside of their game or outside of their dev team test their game for them. Is that not crazy? They have people outside of their game test their game for them. They also actually have PTBs where they listen to feedback and they make changes based on that feedback. Behavior is the only game that I've ever seen where they take feedback and they just laugh at it. They just sit there and they mock you on dev streams. I mean, the fact that these devs had the nerve to go on their dev stream the other day and make jokes about like a Lodi screen bug, like it's not funny. Nobody's laughing. Matter of fact, the only people that are laughing at you, because it is sad that as a development team, you guys are so laid back and making jokes about how bad your game is right now. It's comical. I mean, it's honestly, it's not even really funny anymore. It's just sad. It just goes to show, it doesn't feel like they really care. And I'll tell you what, the happiest day the happiest I've ever felt in this game was the day that I found out Behavior was gonna buy this game from Starbreeze. That was happy. Like, that was the happiest time in this game, because I was like, hey, we're gonna get a dev team that actually, you know, will somewhat care. And, you know, at first they were caring. You know, they did listen to us. You know, they preached about feedback. We need feedback. But as of the Legion patch, and we all know how much of a mistake the Legion patch was, they've gone downhill. They don't listen. They don't communicate. They don't value the feedback that we're giving them. And I encourage everybody, even the yes men that are defending Behavior, to take a step back. Do not give this dev team any more feedback. If they want our feedback, they need to pay for it. They need to give us blood points or Orc cells. Give us something to show that you're going to take our feedback seriously. And, you know, I know Orc cells is probably out of the realm of possibility. They're not going to give away free money. But give us blood points. Show us that you want our feedback, because I'm going to tell you something, Behavior. It really comes off like you guys do not give a shit about what we think. It really comes off that way. And the more you guys just push this let's be funny on stream angle, stop trying to be funny. You're not funny. Nothing about your game at the moment is funny other than how bad it is. And that should say something. Let's talk about the amount of players that were playing today. The highest they had was 42,000 players. On a mid-chapter, right? Like, I get that, like, it's not a chapter, so it's not going to be as big, but this was a lot of changes that fell short. Nobody really cared. That should be a warning sign to Behavior. Nobody really came to play this mid-chapter because this mid-chapter is disappointing. The forums are outraged. There's a lot of people that are complaining. Twitter's outraged. There's a lot of people that are complaining. And I'm sure there's going to be even more people that are complaining. Behavior, we're tired of you not listening. And the longer you guys continue this routine of acting like you don't give a fuck and putting people on there that they don't take this game serious. I mean, for God's sakes, you guys can't even tell us how your MMR is calculated. I mean, oh my God. I just mind-blowing. It's just mind-blowing that this is an actual dev team. And I don't mean that as an insult or to be rude or disrespectful to the devs. And again, I don't wish any hate towards the devs. But, dude, somebody's got to say it. You guys do not act like a dev team. You don't actually act like a dev team. I mean, I'm just going to be honest. I mean, the fact that you guys don't communicate, the fact that you guys don't use PTBs for anything other than just, I don't know, I guess just showing it off so people will buy it. It's sickening. And speaking of PTBs, why is it that you guys took an extra week and nothing came of it? Nothing. You fixed nothing. What did you do? Oh, did it take you guys a week to add a slash over a survivor when they're injured? Please, behavior, please. Don't tell me that's what you spent all this time and resource on, was to add a slash mark. Is that it? Really? You didn't fix the terrible UI? You didn't fix the terrible animations? I mean, well, I guess you kind of did a little bit. You didn't make any adjustments that were very much needed to the game. I mean, I don't know, bro. I'm starting to think you guys actually don't care about feedback. And like I said, as of this moment, I am no longer providing any more feedback to this dev team. If they want my feedback, they're going to pay for it. And it's not going to come free anymore. I'm done. You guys can put out your little surveys. I'm going to laugh at you. I'm not going to provide you feedback. And I hope and pray that you guys realize soon that you are just running this golden goose of yours into the ground. And you are making your biggest critics happy. Because you're proving them right. Your biggest critics, you're proving them right. You're giving them exactly what they want. You're making the game worse and worse and worse and worse every day. And the fact that you guys have not seen this yet is alarming. It is alarming that you guys have not witnessed how bad you're making this game. And I just, like I said, let's try to find a positive in the new UI. The killer can now see the hook counter. Finally. That's great. I'm glad that killer can see the hook counter now. They kind of listened to that, I guess. You know, maybe that's what they spent a week on. Man, other than that, I really can't think of anything else. Yeah. Beaver, your game is going to be in trouble if you guys don't start actually listening to constructive feedback. And if you guys don't start taking the feedback seriously, you're going to drive a lot of people away from this game. And I can say this patch has definitely made a lot of people quit. I have a lot of friends that have openly told me they're done. They're not coming back to this game. And it sucks because when people that you're friends with, that you've played the game with for thousands of hours, are quitting the game, what does that make you want to do? You know? It makes you kind of want to take a step back from the game and maybe just not play it anymore. But I'm going to continue to stick with the game. I'm just not going to provide any feedback for the game. And I'm going to sit and I'm going to watch and see how behavior handles this. And I encourage a lot of people, don't give them feedback. Stop giving them feedback. They're not doing anything with it. They're not taking it seriously. The second they'll start taking it seriously is when they're not getting any. And when they're making mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake and nobody's trying to correct them, that's when they're going to realize that, hey, we fucked up. And that's when either they'll start rewarding us for giving our feedback, or they'll start actually giving a shit and taking it seriously and understanding that if we didn't care about this game, we would not, if we were not passionate about Dead by Daylight, we would not waste our breath. We would not waste our time filling out your little dumbass surveys. And you know what's even more comical? On some of these surveys, why does it ask for gender? Why does it ask, like, how much you make a year? Like, what the fuck are these surveys in the first place, by the way? You guys are asking questions that shouldn't matter. And instead of asking these dumbass questions, why don't you put questions on there that people actually give a shit about? But I guess that's too hard for them to do, right? Because, you know, that would actually take them, you know, understanding that, you know, some of these questions are dumb as fuck. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up with just saying that I am done. And I wish behavior nothing but the best. I'm still going to be playing the game. I'm just not going to try to help balance this game anymore. It is unbalanceable. It's too far gone. And anybody that wants to stick with doing it, good luck to you. And yeah, that's all I've got to say. So this was actually leaked today. these devs actually messed up and somehow linked the trailer out. Anyway, I just want to let you guys know these outfits are not exclusive. The charms are, yes, but the outfits will appear in the store within 6 months. Do not believe this bullshit the behavior is spitting out. These are not exclusive outfits. They never have been. Don't let them lie to you. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, share, and make sure you guys do subscribe and share. That being said, remember, you matter, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.